every interaction you've ever had with a bank. The wait times, the fees, the way someone looked at you across the counter. None of it was an accident. You overdrafted by $4. A coffee on autopay. The bank charges you $35. The penalty for being broke is that you become more broke. You call, hold music for 20 minutes. A voice reads from a script. Fees can't be reversed at this time. You ask for a manager. They say someone will call within 48 hours. Nobody calls back. A $7 subscription processes while you're negative. Another $35. Now you owe $77 over a coffee. Your rent bounces. Landlord charges $75. Phone bill fails. $25 more. The $4 mistake is now $200 deep, and you didn't touch a thing. You walk into the branch. The teller looks at her screen, and her face changes. Not anger, not pity, something colder. You watch yourself stop being a person and start being a flag, a risk score with shoes on. You leave without saying what you came to say. Somewhere between the $4 and the unreturned call, you stopped feeling like a customer. You started feeling like a problem. The bank that just charged you $35 for a $4 mistake, that same institution will one day fly someone to your city to ask your opinion. Same bank. Keep watching. At $200, you're paying a bank to hold money you barely have. The maintenance fee hits every month. $12, $15, quietly, no warning. To waive it, you need $1,500. You don't have $1,500. You apply for credit. They offer a secured card where you give them $300 and they lend it back at 24% interest. Your money lent back at 24%. At the branch, the teller before you gets warmth, laughter, questions about her weekend. When you step up, the smile becomes professional. She processes your request in 40 seconds. Doesn't say, have a nice day. The next person walks up, and the warmth returns instantly. You weren't refused. You weren't insulted. You were just moved through, like luggage on a belt. Then your direct deposit stabilizes. 2 weeks. Consistent. $1,600. The maintenance fee disappears automatically because your pattern now matches a profile that earns the bank money. Real credit card offers arrive. Metallic ink. Pre-approved. You apply for a $5,000 loan. Approved in 48 hours. You realize the bank never cared who you were. The bank cared what your account looked like. At $2,000, your account looks profitable. You're not invisible anymore. You're not respected either. You're just useful. At the next level, the bank stops waiting for you to come in. They call you, and what they say in that first phone call reveals everything they were always capable of doing and chose not to. Your phone rings. A real person. Hi, I've been assigned as your relationship banker. The institution that left you on hold for 40 minutes just called you first thing Tuesday morning. Your loan rate drops from 11% to 6.8%. Not because you negotiated, because you stopped being a risk. A fee shows up. You email your banker. 3 hours later, taken care of. No form, no script. The same fees that drained you for years are now optional. At $80,000, someone with a nameplate stands up when you walk in. They guide you past the rope line, the one you used to stand in, not knowing anything else existed. A competitor bank calls to poach you. You mention it to David. He calls back in an hour with a counteroffer. The institution that ignored you for years is now competing to keep you. Here's what finally makes sense at this level. The bank was never cruel to you when you were broke. The bank was indifferent. And indifference at scale, applied to millions of people, looks exactly like cruelty. At 500,000, something flips entirely. You stop going to the bank starts coming to you. And the final level, You're not even a client anymore. At $500,000, a colleague of your banker drives to your office. Leather folder, printed reports, 90-minute meeting where he never once pitches anything because the selling happened before he walked through the door. You call about a frozen wire transfer. Someone picks up on the second ring, fixed in the same conversation. The call that took 3 hours at $2,000 takes 3 minutes now. At $5 million, you have a private banker, one who manages fewer than 20 accounts. Your mortgage rate isn't published. It's negotiated. Investment minimums that block regular clients? Waived. You walk into a branch you've never been to before, in a city you're passing through. They know your name before you say a word. Not because you're famous, because of a flag in the system that tells them to treat you differently. At $25 million, you don't apply for things anymore. Things apply for you. Investments come to you before they're public. Deals are structured around your participation before you've agreed to participate. And then, the chief investment officer calls, not to update you, but to ask your opinion on emerging markets. The head of private banking flies out to ask what products their next generation of clients should expect. You are now shaping the institution that once charged you $35 for being broke. The bank doesn't have a customer at $25 million. The bank has a partner. Right now, someone is staring at a minus sign on their screen. $4 overdraft. Coffee on autopay. The fee hits within the hour. They call. Hold music. Fees can't be reversed at this time. They don't know the system isn't broken. The system is working exactly the way it was designed to. The same institution that will one day fly out to ask their opinion is currently charging them for not having enough. You are the same person at every balance. The bank just decides who you are based on the number next to your name. The bank doesn't change at every level. The bank reveals what it always was.